when Castillo, on December 7th last year, carried out a coup d'etat, among his proclamations was the dismissal of the Supreme Court and, of course, the City Justice Board. When Vladimir Montesinos desired to control the electoral system and appoint Portillo Campbell to facilitate the re-election of Alberto Fujimori, what he did was exert control over the ONPE by manipulating the council. Why? Because if you control the Supreme Court, if you control the Board of Supreme Prosecutors, you control a significant portion of the judicial system. It is almost impossible to have autonomy in the processes that interest power. And what processes are of interest to power? Processes like Bayato, processes like white collars, where the Attorney General has already demonstrated on more than one occasion that she will. This is the cover, please, of the report and observations pertaining to human rights in the context of protests that have occurred in Peru. Between December 2022 and July 2023, the report is from today. It is a report from the High Commissioner of Human Nations. And what can I tell you? It is a disaster for the government of the lady, who possesses the right to peacefully assemble without weapons, or the right to assembly as granted by law. And he has made it clear that the killing of civilians is well documented and recorded. And you are able to see that democracy is based on two pillars of utmost importance and significance. One is the recognition and guarantee of the fundamental rights of individuals. First column, if I lack a system ensuring my fundamental rights, and the first one is the right to life, democracy. I do not have democracy. And the second is that the democratic form of government is based on the separation of powers. If a single entity exercises control over all the remaining entities with power, the principles of democracy, separation of powers, and human rights are undermined. This is the prevailing state of affairs in Peru at present. How did this state of affairs come to be in the first place? Staying and observing, witnessing how the sun rises, how it will rain in the upcoming weeks, really? Does that apply to all Peruvians? Well, that's what we're going to have. What is coming now is a radicalization of an authoritarianism that, believe me, will lead us to the darkest days in the history of Peru. The only hope we have is that this is cured. Yes, it is. However, as long as the population continues to remain indifferent to what is happening, the only thing we will have on the tables of Peruvian families are migration plans.